Hi, this is Steve talking today about the great news for the WGA in terms of a contract, a deal, a tentative agreement is what we call it. So we have a tentative agreement. Congratulations to all of us. I'm very excited about it. And there's a lot to happen going forward, and we don't exactly know what it all means. Here's how this works. Our WGA negotiating committee has been doing an amazing job talking to the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, the AMPTP, and a tentative agreement is on the table. That means a couple of things are happening right now. One is that the WGA lawyers are dotting I's and crossing T's and making sure the language is all there for everything that's intended to be in these documents and in these agreements going forward. Number two is that the boards of WGA East and WGA West will come together to approve this particular document. They will say, yes, this is a good deal. We ratify, we recommend, we suggest, we put our approval on this space. So they need to vote, lawyers need to work, they need to vote, and then they also need to determine whether or not the strike is over. So the picket lines all across Los Angeles and all across New York for the WGA are done. There is no more picketing from WGA members in this particular action. But the strike still is in effect until the union says the strike is no longer in effect. So that's the other thing that the board members need to vote on, whether the strike is no longer in effect. Once these things happen, the board needs to decide that it's time to bring this stuff to the membership and get them, us, to ratify the agreement. That results in a couple of really big meetings, both here in Los Angeles and also in New York, where the brass of the WGA will walk us through what the agreement is and say, here's what it is, here's what's happening, here's what's improved, here's what's different. And we then, as a group, will be able to ask questions in this very large meeting to directly address what we think about it. There might be concerns, there might be questions, there might be confusions, and we will do this usually for a very long evening and maybe several other meetings, depending on the way they decide to arrange it and where and how and all of that stuff. And then we, the membership, go off and vote to potentially ratify from the membership this particular deal, which would then make it official moving forward. Now, here's the thing. The board also needs to vote on whether or not we go back to work during the ratification process, or whether we go back to work after the ratification process. So lots of different things need to happen. As I mentioned, lawyers need to get involved and are looking at dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Board members are taking a look at the agreement and giving it their thumbs up, deciding to bring it to the membership, deciding whether or not the strike is over, then bringing it to the membership. We have this huge meeting where we learn all the details and ins and outs. We ask questions and get a chance to then go away and vote. And during that time, we might be returning to work if the board says we do, or we might not be returning to work if the board says we don't, until the ratification vote is done. So I hope that makes sense. I know that many of us, me included, are looking forward to getting back to work and to making the material that America and the world loves, that is heartfelt and dramatic and interesting. And we're in a process now that I think reportedly has in the past taken up to 10 days. So there might be a week or two before people go back to work, people like me who are already in jobs. It might be shorter than that. It might be truncated. It might be super fast. The bottom line is we just don't know. So yay, we have an agreement. We don't quite know what's in it yet. I've heard that it's very good on all fronts, but you and I will see, and it'll be announced in the press, I'm sure, and we will look at it and we will be talking about it as well. And yeah, so that's the deal. That's what's happening. That's the great news and the process ahead. And I'm really glad you tuned in to watch this. If you enjoyed this video, take a look at the other videos on this site. Give it a thumbs up. If you dig it, spread the word about this YouTube channel to your friends. Check out yourcreativelife.com, which is where all things exist around my coaching. If you need help in your TV writing life, that's the place to go and find out about all of the offerings. Some are free, like the newsletter, like the podcast, and some are worth the investment of your time and your money. So take a look at those things. Thank you for watching, and join me next time. I put a new video up every week.